Okay, we're going to start like this. Okay, and we're just going to start with some alternating compression with the feet. So you notice if you're out wide, like if you're on the flat of the acromion shelf here, you get bigger movements of the shoulder girdle. And you want to sit close enough so that you can have nice contact, but that you have a slight bend in your knee, because the movement comes from you straightening your leg. Right? So if you're too far away, then you're not going to get that, and if you're too close, you're just too close. So you want to compress, and then you want to move more medial, and just let the arch of your foot contour over to the top of the shoulder. And then one time, then you just want to press down and hold the pressure. And then release, and then compress down the other shoulder. And hold, and release. And then to get a little bit more specific, so the space in between the shoulder and the base of the neck is where the highest portion of trapezius is, and there's a really nice trigger acupressure point here. So to get at it, what you can do is turn your foot out and let the heel sink in there, and then you just press right down towards their feet. You feel nice contact there? So it's not straight like this, but you turn the foot out so that the heel can make contact here. And again, the pressure comes from you straightening your knee, so you're, and then that drives the heel into the point, and you can hold it there a little bit. Pressure is okay there?
Mm-hmm.
Not too much?
No.
And release. And I feel on this side will be a little tighter. Is that a little tighter than the other?
Yeah.
I could tell by the way the shoulder was moving. When I was compressing, I could feel more resistance on this side. So I just assumed that this area was going to be tighter. So turn out like this. Squeak right in there. Okay. Then you're going to move a little closer, and you're going to take your toes and just let them come right over the heads of the humerus here. So you're stabilizing the shoulder to the mat, and you reach your hand in between your legs and cup the back of their head, and then you're just going to motion their chin towards their sternum so that you get a nice stretch in posterior cervicals. So without me stabilizing my feet, the shoulders come up more. So you want to keep those down so it defines the stretch. And my arms are on the inside, resting on my legs so I can hold this easier. And then you're going to let the head come down and take one foot off. And then we're just going to laterally flex the head and neck this way. So this stabilizes the shoulder as I laterally flex the head and neck this way. You get a nice stretch here, side of the neck. And the stretch is one thing, the sustained stretch is a whole nother thing, so it allows the fascia to start to loosen up a little bit. And release. Same on the other side. So again, this is pure lateral flexion, not rotation. So the nose points up. That's a good indicator that you're laterally flexing. And you want to go to point of resistance and hold. And back. And then you move a little closer. And we're going to do a wave motion. So we're going to use the pads of our fingers, and we're going to start right at the base of the neck and work our way up to the occipital ridge. So the pads of our fingers are on either side of the spinous process of the cervical vertebra, and we're pushing up and moving back this way. So you go up and back. And just work that neck a few times just to Get some looseness in that muscles. Right. And then I like you to feel for the mastoid processes on either side. So that's bony protuberance here behind your ears. And you feel, and then you drop down towards the mat. So you hook your fingers up underneath the occipital ridge, and then you lean back. So you give them cervical traction, but also digital compression up underneath the occipital ridge. So you're just hooking and going back. Hooking and going back. All right. Now, I'm going to do both sides. So I'll do the side for the camera first. When you turn the head, you can feel for the mastoid process. So here's the mastoid process. Again, this bony protuberance right behind the ear. And when you come medial up underneath here, this is the occipital ridge. This is where the suboccipital muscles are. So you want to take the pads of your fingers and place them right there. And then you're going to turn the head and you're going to rest your hand on the mat. And it's just going to be the weight of their head that's causing the compression into the points. You feel it? Mm-hmm. So it's just the weight of their head. So your hands like this on the mat. And it's the pads of your fingers going right up into these little muscles that help rock and tilt your head. So here, and you just let it hang out there for a little bit. You don't have to add any pressure or anything. The weight of their head is enough. That 12 pounds or whatever the head is. And you're going to do it to the other side. So while it's in this position, you take your fingers and place them in this position here. And then you just can just come out easy and go this way and let them sink in. Okay, and we're going to come back, and we're just going to end with a little myofascial work on the back of the neck before we call it quits. So we're going to bring the head up like this, and I'm going to take my toes, my pads of my big toes, on either side of the spine and just do myofascial stroke right down. So you come like this.
Sorry about that.
Don't ever apologize. Your hair's great. So here. So like this, just. That pressure's okay?
Yeah.
Not too much?
Fantastic.
Okay, so see, here's the spine. Just a second. Here's the spine. And you're on either side. So with the neck and stretch, you take the pads of your toes and just slide them right down. And right into the tops of the shoulders. And you can do that a few times. It feels real nice.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to work with socks, though.
Hmm?
It's not going to work with socks, though.
If there's holes in the bottom of them, you can't. Then we're just going to end with a little stretch. We're going to end with a little stretch, so one hand over the other. So like this, and then you can just lean back and do a nice stretch. Sometimes you can stabilize here if you want, and lean back. And then we're just going to end with the circular friction into the temple area. And then whatever, you add when you're working on the head, usually come in and work the masseters a little bit. But again, that's what you like to do. I really like working the masseters. Pressure's okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of unsaid stuff stuck in the masseters for everybody. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.